here with tailoredtrader.com. I want to do an update on the technical analysis video. Today is Friday, May 19th, about 1:18 p.m. here, Eastern Standard Time. As you can see right here, just right off the bat in front of me, on Sunday night, you can check the YouTube channel. I did do a video regarding the analysis for the week. And so now this video is kind of like the update of what happened during the week. Of course, we were day trading these markets Monday through Friday via a day trading room. But for video purposes, I'm going to update just the technical analysis portion of everything as kind of things have played out for the week. And going right to the euro, just diving right into it, during that video, I said, the pressure was up, during the week, kind of going into the, like a channel on the weekly, and we kind of opened right in the middle of last week's high and last week's low. But during this week, the euro just exploded up to the upside with some help of Trump with his kind of issues that he's working through over in the U.S. I'm not trying to get into that so much right now, but at the end of the day, technically, we broke out obviously to the upside. I mentioned that there was nothing here much except for this Fibonacci retracement, up here to stop price if we do break to the upside. Other than this downside Fibonacci from the weekly, from 116.16 to the 1.0340, which I mentioned in the prior video. You could check that. But as you can see, even today, we just kind of blew right through that. So next target, which I'll update maybe next week of the technical analysis video, obviously is going to be hitting this 113 area for the monthly if this euro wants to continue up. And again, it'd be kind of cool for you if you saw the last video and you view this video, you'll kind of have the before and the after of this analysis. Because literally when I started the video, I wanted it for the Sunday open and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Look at the euro; it just exploded with one red day, just providing a pullback and then a continuation to the upside. And I did mention that we had a weekly low here, opened in the middle, kind of formed a. I mentioned that it may possibly be forming like a double bottom-ish here, like a weak one. But I did mention we could go further, respecting this channel, it kind of being higher up on a weekly higher level. But of course, the euro just proved all that retracement talk out, and it just fell through with its continuation to the upside, which I also mentioned coming up this double bottom and the pressure being up. If you go back to that video, we did catch some euro longs within here. I could bring up the activity chart and go through that. I'll do that towards the end of the video. I do want to move on with the technical analysis, but like I said, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we're finishing on highs so far. We have 4 more hours, but it looks like the euro is just going to grind higher to set prices up for next week. So you can go ahead and check that video. And of course, we go to work on the smaller time frames here and take trades intraday, like I've been mentioning. And the formations have been quite favorable for continuation to the long sides, which the higher time frames guided us there anyways. Now going to the GBP USD, the sterling, British pound, however you want to classify it. I did mention that this currency pair could have, had the, probability of ranging for the week. And that's kind of what we had here. I mean, of course, you're looking at the weekly candle so far. We finally broke out of this weekly kind of range for the prior 2 to 3 weeks, give or take, today. So you'll see that noted on the daily when I go down. But basically, while we opened up this week, we opened kind of in the middle of the weekly range, being the yellow lines. And we've kind of been trading in and out, up and down here, which you'll see. And then finally, we kind of see some pressure and some closing with some confirmation to the upside. Maybe next week's target could be the 130, 120s area. We'll see. Going down to the daily, just like I mentioned, the pound, I said it literally on Sunday that just be careful of the range in the pound because we had, opposing signals and reversal candles to the downside, reversal candles to the upside, sitting in the middle of a weekly range. And as you can see, if you just look at this candle here, on Thursday's candle, we had a break to the upside, but we smashed down to the downside, just still in range. And then say we had a move to the upside. It looks like we're going to be closing with that pressure. So it'll be interesting next week. But again, I have a weekly target and a weekly high right here at this 131.21 area, which is probably going to provide some resistance to the upside if we get there. So that kind of like played out, just range, not much volatility in the British pound, but it's a consolidation week, and sometimes you get really big moves out of those consolidations. But that's something that we can check, next week. This is Friday, so it's time to enjoy the weekend, get away from the charts a little bit, and then you reanalyze on Sunday, fresh, preparing for the next week. I do want to note just on the 4-hour time frame, because that's the basis of my whole strategy in the day trading room, or at least one of my strategies, but the one that I'm going to be trading in the day trading room is 4-hour based. And that was yesterday's candle, daily candle. As you can see, we broke higher, put it in a reversal candle on the 4-hour, and then swiped down. It was based off some news yesterday as well, but it came right into its range. And then we have a basing and a continuation of the upside, all out of, again, like I've been saying, a range in the pound. Now the yen, I will go to the yen. And again, you could, while that's loading, you could check the prior YouTube video, May, I think it was 8th. I'm sorry, May 14th, which was Sunday's date. Okay, now on the weekly for the yen, if I just open that up, we opened up here. I mentioned that we had a weekly high at that price point, or a weekly low at that price point. We actually broke below that weekly low, which I'm going to show you on the daily as well. But I did mention that there was a channel, on the weekly and even on the daily, of course, this downward sloping channel, and we broke out the last week of that channel. But it looks like that was just a kind of like a breakout. A lot of traders have stopped out, so I'm sure prices went higher, came up, still in like a range type context in the yen, with the higher time frame, still kind of putting down. It just went a little bit higher and broke a technical level and went to the next level, put it in a level, and then now is kind of continuing with the downward pressure. If this is going to continue. With that said, let me go down to the daily time frame and show you a little bit more. And I got a little bit more detail oriented in that prior Sunday's video, and I mentioned that I had these Fibonacci retracement levels drawn out from an extreme low on the weekly time frame to an extreme high put in on last week's high, and these are the fibs that kind of glide. And as you can see, this was Wednesday's candle on this week. And it just plowed right through on that news that we had. There was some Donald Trump talk and all that. Brazil came with data as well, or some bad news. Look, I don't really care what happened so much, just how the price reacted. And this is what kind of like what the setup. Well, let me first explain the Fibonacci retracements. I did say that we could have some kind of confluenced areas down here, the 61 being here, the 50 being here, confluence with the weekly, and then we had the 31, or the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement being in at the 112. Completely got plowed out, as you can see, coming from Tuesday's bearish daily reversal on Monday's price action. So if I could just kind of take a moment to explain that. This is Monday's candle, followed by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which is today, as I'm on a daily chart. And as you can see, this was last week's high. Monday's candle, it is kind of like an inside bar, because we didn't break the prior day's candle. Almost kind of put in like almost a reversal candle for the most part, but not really strong confirmation to the upside. But then as you can see, the next day, which was Tuesday, pulled in a bearish reversal candle on the daily, as you can see, coming from a higher context, weekly high, being up here, and then also kind of understanding that, in the context of prices from the weekly and monthly, it's still kind of downward pressure. And then we have a daily bearish reversal, signaling that potentially for this day, which fell on Wednesday, we could have some more bearish pressure. Now, I didn't know it was going to drop as much as it did in here, but that happened, of course, right? That's why I always focus on trading with the higher time frame context and then going in on the right side of the trend, so you could be on the right side of that and potentially not trying to catch a falling knife. Now, during the week, we kind of settled. We didn't really break below that 61.8 and is kind of holding that, which could provide some kind of support for next week. But again, that downward pressure is clearly coming back into the yen, so we'll have to take it from there. The trade for the yen this week, of course, it's Friday, has been short biased, and again, that's hindsight. But if you check my video on Sunday, I did mention if it dropped lower, let it drop lower, etc. You look for places down here, or you want to ride that short as long as you possibly could, which was on the winning side. And if it went higher, then we'll just catch it higher. But there was really nothing to signal to go higher. Even if you were going to play the 61 or even these Fibonacci retracements, you were getting plowed from a daily reversal candle prior. So you have to be careful with that kind of stuff, which is why you have to understand technicals on all time frames. Which is kind of what we do. We go to work on when we analyze in the higher time frames, we go to work on the smaller time frames. And just to give you some insight on the smaller time frames, staying consistent with the time frames and the methodology that you follow in the 4-hour trend that I track. This is the break that happened off that daily reversal, and as you can see, we really had no reversal candle on the 4-hour to even catch a potential reverse on trend. We have, some down here way lower, but that's hindsight. I really want to talk about that so much. I'm talking about during the move, and there really wasn't much there to stop prices for the higher. There was a little bit of reverse candle, but it got crushed right there on the 4-hour and just continued down to the downside. And the same thing is going to hold true if I go down to the smaller time frames, and that's getting down to more of the execution of everything. But I do want to bring up the account and the trades. I'm not really going to go into so much, as I'm still not trading proper size. I'm in the process of connecting or still working on things for the trading room. This is fairly new. I'm trading light. There's really nobody in my trading room right now. I'm kind of giving you just the straight 411 of everything. I'm trading light, working on the whole business aspect of this as well. But I do want to remain transparent with everything. This is literally the live account, the trades that I've taken, which my members have more detailed analysis of the actual numbers and the trades within that. So I do want to respect that as well. And I am offering a free trial right now currently. So if you want to understand more of what goes down daily, start with the free trial. And you'll get this, not only the technicals portion, but how to trade in and out while this is happening. Because if I just bring up another execution chart here, trades are being taken in these markets all live. So I just want to say that and mention that. Again, it is Friday, closing up so far profitable for the week, but nothing to shout about as it's very small size. Still working on things like inside of the trading room and the business portion of everything. But there you have it: the euro, the pound, and the U.S. and the Japanese yen. The Sunday analysis and the final week analysis. As you can see, the technical analysis doesn't change so much. You just plan around what's happening in the market. I'm very patient and consistent with everything that I. And if you want a dose of that, then click that free trial link, and we can start the journey. I can help you kind of analyze the market technically, and also by the numbers, which is the way that I trade. Trade well. Eric here with TaylorTrader.com.